Hi again and welcome to Jumpstart Your Confidence Parenting Support Sessions. The last day I was talking about resilience, and I guess I focused on the smallies. I never really got to get as far as the older lot. I don't want to keep these rambling on too long because I know you're all busy, so I just cut it off. So instead of doing communication first, I'm actually going to go back and do a little bit on resilience for the older kids. That's probably, we're looking at maybe from age 10 upwards. I suppose to begin with, when I see kids coming into me or through the school system and they're struggling, whether they're struggling with confidence, with self-belief, with friendships, with schoolwork, with pressures, you know, a lot of it does come back to the same thing, that these kids don't feel strong and they don't feel capable for whatever reason. I know there's a multitude of reasons and I'm just hitting one today, and that is capability and feeling strong within yourself, which leads to a strong self-belief. Whether, lads, it's small stuff, whether these kids, you know, if they forget their lunch, if they forget their sewing kit, if they forget their rugby kit, their sports kit, whatever. Yes, initially in first year, we're probably going to hop in the car, leave work, sort it out, because we don't want them to get into trouble initially. But if we keep doing that, what are we teaching them? We're just teaching them it's okay to forget things because we'll pick them up. It's okay to mess up because we'll sort it out. And unfortunately, that's just not the way life works. So absolutely at the beginning of secondary school, as it's a huge transition, if the kids are forgetting things, I'm sure we will initially begin by bringing it in the first time, maybe the second, but please by the time the third comes, if it comes, let them struggle that day. And I guarantee you, they won't do it again. We have to be cruel to be kind at times. There's a saying, it's not what you do for your kids, but what you teach them to do for themselves will make them strong and happier human beings. And that's it. It's not that really difficult to understand. So that's school, forgetting things, homework, forgetting homework, not finishing stuff on time, not timing themselves out. They have to learn it. It's a life skill. It's a life skill they'll bring forward to jobs, to third level education, to wherever they may end up going. Actually, they'll take it on the sports field, they'll take it into drama, they'll take it anywhere. If they learn how to achieve, how to set goals, how to see things through, how to commit to things, they won't go too far wrong. So you and I, we all have to help our kids in building this resilience, which helps them to fulfill so many things in the future. When it comes to dinners, cooking, feeding, I know I spoke about this with the smallies. Yes, at times it is so much easier to throw something on and put on a plate and give it to them rather than say, come on lads, I'm coming in from work late, I need you to sort it out. Will you just do the tea tonight? Will you do the dinner this evening? Honestly, if we think back, most of us were well capable of putting something on the table. And they need to be as well. So, you know, take time at a weekend or an evening, just show them the basics of how to cook a pasta dish, throw a few baked potatoes in the oven, whatever it might be. Whatever is your family's choice of food. Even if it's throwing pizzas in, who cares? If it's going to get you through a rough evening, we're a family. We need to be a family unit that supports each other and helps each other. There's no point in the mother or father here being stressed out of their heads trying to do everything when there's a couple of kids, one kid, anyone within that house who's capable of helping out. And I really strongly believe that that family feeling, when you are involved and when the kids know we rely on them a little bit more, it's a nicer feeling for them as well. Yes, they'll battle it, they'll argue it, they're teenagers or they're adolescents coming into it. Of course they're going to argue. They're going to argue over everything. That's normal. But they do feel better and they do feel stronger when they're capable. When it comes to washing, for the love of God, let them put on a wash. Go down once with them, show them where to put the powder or the tablet or whatever it is you use. Show them what wash to put on for a general wash, that's a good step, and let them do it. You can phone home from work or on a Saturday or Sunday if you're not around, ring home and say, would you mind putting on that wash, I forgot to do it. Just give them the responsibility. Set the table, clearing off. Sorry, but if you cook and if you're putting the food on the table, someone else needs to be helping sort the rest out. Get them involved. And they're all the better for it. If they go to friends' houses or they go visiting, you know, for them to automatically lift plates off tables, help out, show that they're capable, it's a wonderful trait. And then they're a pleasure to have and no problem whatsoever. So the benefits here are huge in a load of small ways, but they really are beneficial. When it comes to housework, same difference. Let them get involved. You know, my house, I'd say, I might get all stressed and say, oh my God, I'm too busy, I can't cope. And they'd say, would you just tell us what you want us to do? They just need us to name it. So whether it's empty the dishwasher, wash down the tables, hoover, brush the floor, just tell them. If you've more than one kid, spread it out. Make sure that female-male ratio isn't like it was in the good old days. The males should be doing equal to the females, big time. Divide it up, put a chart on the wall if necessary. I'm sure most of you are paying for phone bills, paying for extra school activities, paying for clothes, bribe, I don't care what you do, but they need to know appreciation, they need to know the value of money, they need to understand it's a family unit and we all need to help out. And believe me, as they grow older and into their mid-teens and late teens and head into third level, feeling capable and being able to look after themselves is one of the best gifts you will give them. As I said earlier, I have a college student sit here who cannot put on a wash, who cannot cook, who feel totally incapable. And why is that? Who failed who? We do fail our kids by not teaching them how to be independent. They need to be resilient. They need to be able to cope with challenges, of which there are going to be many, guys. You know, there's huge issues with friendships, but I'm going to do a whole other session on that. But there will be ups and downs on social media, on making mistakes online, on teachers, relationships with teachers in school and exams and study. There are always going to be challenges, and on the sports field, don't even start me. But that is life. There is no point in us smoothing out the ground for our kids to make the world a simple, easy, wonderful, happy place all the time, because unfortunately that's not the way it is. Now that's not to say we don't treat them and look out for them and do things that are special and maybe cook special dinners or do whatever it is we do, make our homes homely. That's not it. Of course we're going to do that, and that's wonderful and that's equally valuable. All I'm saying is please remember, let your kids, your adolescents and your teens learn how to fend for themselves. Start today. I've had parents after the last talk coming up to me saying, I wish I got this when they were younger, I wish I'd started younger. It's never too late to start. If you have a 17, 18-year-old in your house, start today. Bring him or her down, show them how to put on a wash. Maybe the next day show them how to set the fire, how to clear out a fire. It doesn't matter. Teach. That is our number one role as parents. Teach, educate our kids in the 1,000 different ways we have to do it. So I hope you got a little bit there. All I'll say is take that first step today, teach them, give them responsibility, help them to be resilient. It will stand to them for life. I'm going to start with communication with the younger kids and move on to the older kids in our next session. Have a great day. Talk soon.